product, yeah. Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.
You should know where to go. Na SON.
Barely 2 weeks after 4 persons appeared in court for forging receipts of the Standard Organization of Nigeria, another person has been arraigned before Honorable Justice Peter Odulifu for dealing on substandard lubricants. Stakeholders laud SON's achievements for more than 5 decades. The program you're watching is Standard and You, and we are still in the mood of celebration. Yes, SON is 50 and we are doing a lot to improve life through Standard. My name is Ifenua Okonkwo. Welcome to the program. Do not go anywhere. I'll be back shortly.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's fake.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It's bad.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It hurts.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It destroys.
Don't touch, don't touch.
It kills.
These are substandard products. They are dangerous to human lives and have negative effects on the nation's economy. We work round the clock in search of these products, and wherever we find them, we destroy them. We are committed to the war against substandard and fake products. We are the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Join us on Standard and You, your guide to product quality and safety.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. If you are one of those still in the business of producing and distributing substandard products in the country, you are advised to stop the illegal act and embrace quality. This advice is coming on the heels of renewed strategy by the Standards Organization of Nigeria to ensure that anyone caught producing or distributing substandard products will be brought to book. The latest effort by the agency in that regard was the arraignment of a middle-aged man, Wisdom Anekwe, before Justice Peter Odulifu of the Federal High Court, Ikoyi, Lagos. He was in court on a 4-count charge bordering on production and distribution of substandard lubricants not in compliance with the SON's mandatory conformity assessment program, MANCAP.
After the conclusion of the police investigation, he has been arraigned this morning on a 4-count charge, which has to do with offences bordering on distributing and sale of substandard engine oil and releasing to the members of the public goods that are not of quality which he intended them to be. The court has heard our application. He has been arraigned, and his counsel also make an oral application for bail. And the court said in the interest of justice that he will exercise his discretion in favor of the accused person, which he has done. Honorable Justice Elo Lifu granted him bail on a condition that he should produce 2 sorties. The 2 sorties with 10 million each in like sum, and one of the sorties should be a grade level 15 officer, either in the employment of Lagos State government or federal government of Nigeria. The second sortie is expected to own a landed property within the jurisdiction of the court, which is Lagos. He has also been remanded in Ikoyi Correctional Facility.
The case was adjourned to the 15th of November 2022.
Look, now look behind me. All this one now wire, where we seize from them. You know, see, as them plenty there. Iron 9 they put inside. Maybe some people have saying their money for time and now they take build house. You can't use this kind of wire. I can't burn and down. What do you get again? So when we see people with this kind of email that they tell us to, we will go catch them.
Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
For as long as you continue to deal on substandard products, we will come after you, and when we get you, we will make you pay for your wicked acts in accordance to the laws of the land. So, it is in your best interest to desist from the production and distribution of fake and substandard products. And to you consumers and genuine manufacturers, be rest assured that we got you covered. Moving on to our big story. Last week, we provided you insights into what we have lined up to celebrate our Golden Jubilee. Yes, 50 years of quality life. This week, we shall take a look at how the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the nation's foremost regulatory agency, has evolved through the years. My colleague Alimot Osifo, on a special assignment in this report, takes us down memory lane on Nigeria's journey to how standardization began. Please take a listen.
Nigeria's economy is no doubt one of the largest in Africa. The nation is blessed with abundant human and natural resources. Oil was and still is the major revenue earner for the country of over 190 million people. The unhealthy dependence on crude oil has had negative impacts on virtually all sectors of the nation's economy, especially the industrial sector. As the nation grapples with a myriad of problems, successive governments have taken steps to address the prevalence of substandard products in Nigeria.
One of the reasons the Nigerian manufacturing sector has been so sluggish in terms of growth and development is the challenge of smuggling of counterfeit products and of substandard products. It's one of their biggest challenges. And a lot of brands have also been destroyed. Because what happens is that once a brand is performing, that is where the counterfeiters, that is what they will target. And before you know it, apart from eroding the profit margin of the main owners of the brand, they also do things that undermine or erode their reputation of the brands. So it hurts the economy a great deal. It hurts the manufacturing sector a great deal. And this is a very critical sector for the economy. Because if you are talking of building an inclusive economy, you need a very sound industrial base to do so.
This, however, necessitated the establishment of the Standards Organization of Nigeria in 1971. The objective was to, among others, coordinate the elaboration of standards, promote and enforce same in the country. This is Onikpan, where Nigeria's journey to standardization began. It was a very humble beginning for the Standards Organization of Nigeria here, where they started elaborating standards for 4 years, 1971 to 1975 precisely. From here, the SON moved to the old Federal Secretariat in Ikoyi, Lagos.
From a department under the Federal Ministry of Industry, and then a small office at Onikpan, where you have less than 10 staff working for the organization at that time. Yes, and then the act that set us up, Act number 56 of 1971, precisely, well, though it was very restricting us a lot, but over the time, the act has been amended, and so today we are talking about organizations that have been empowered to do a lot to better the life of Nigeria and improve the quality of lives in Nigeria.
Like in other parts of the world, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, working with relevant stakeholders, sets guidelines or procedures to achieving quality goods and services in line with best practices. This, the agency has done for more than 5 decades.
I started work with Standards Organization of Nigeria when it was NSO. You know, it is SON now. NSO then was Nigerian Standards Organization of Nigeria. But we had another organization that was now Nigerian Security Organization. So government had to change our name. That is how we now started answering SON. Standards Organization of Nigeria. When we started work, we had basically 2 major departments, standards department, and then quality assurance, and then the laboratory. So you can imagine. So with that, the increased mandate on SON to make standards to ensure safety of life had to make us to break into various departments. So under quality assurance now, we had to break into the departments, textile, leather, chemtech, food codex, electrical.
SON's days of small beginning was characterized by determination, passion and dedication on the path of pioneer staff and management of the organization.
Challenge also of managing complaints now came up, and then we had to set up a consumer complaint arm that was now handling complaints from people. You could see how SON was now gradually increasing. Then, in order to rid the country of substandard products, we needed to invest more in labs. I want to appreciate the leadership of Standards Organization of Nigeria. The DG has invested so much in ensuring that our labs are adequately equipped to carry out those tests in order to ensure that only quality and safe products enter Nigeria without endangering the lives of our consumers.
The task before the entire staff at that time was to conceive, coordinate, and draw a roadmap for sustainable quality management framework for effective standards formulation and enforcement.
We did a lot of public enlightenment in order to pass that message. We also found a way of reaching out to the international community so that we brought the mandate of the organization up to speed, because what I've found in the standards world is that there's a lot of evolution. As we talk today, even in Africa, a lot of standard bodies are no longer just focused on what we're doing in Nigeria, because there are areas of metrology where they measure accurate measurement for trade and all that. There are issues of conformity assessment, testing products for quality and all that. And then there's also the area of standards development. But SON in the past was focused on standards development.
As public acceptance grew over the years on the relevance of the Standards Organization of Nigeria to the overall economy, the SON expanded its services and moved to the old Federal Secretariat in Ikoyi, Lagos. From Shomolu to Secretariat and then to SON's operational headquarters here in Lekki. The agency started out with 2 mini laboratories, mainly catering for electrical and chemical products. Over time, the laboratories expanded into a world-class laboratory complex in Ogba, Lagos, where there are over 40 well-equipped laboratories testing for a wide range of products. The Standards Organization of Nigeria deepened its testing capacity to establish the quality of products and provided technical support to industries, especially small and medium enterprises.
There were periods where some Nigerian exports have been rejected for lack of certification or standards. Well, our facility tests a lot of products. And sometimes when we even get requests for products that we don't have ability to test, we immediately buy those equipment to allow ourselves to be able to do those tests. So we have one of the best facilities in the country, actually the best. I know for sure individuals who know what labs are, when they come to our facility, they are shocked at the quality and advanced equipment we have. And I'm urging Nigerians to reach out to us if there are products they're interested in locally or internationally to test or to export. We will be able to be their partner in that aspect. We'll be able to test the products, assert what ingredients are in that product, assert the quality of the product, and certify it. And our certification is acceptable in almost all places because we are accredited by international organizations.
Like a colossus, SON has grown over the years with offices in 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The agency offers metrology services, management system services, product analysis, factory inspection under its MANCAP scheme, as well as offshore conformity assessment services on imported goods.
We have metrology. And what is metrology? Metrology is the science of measurement. Scientific and industrial metrology reside with the Standards Organization of Nigeria. And that is the aspect of calibration. It is when you build, when you lay a foundation, that you can put up all the other structures in the building. Enforcing standards has been an uphill task for the Standards Organization of Nigeria.
This is because of consumers' attitude to quality, an area the SON has committed millions of naira to educating Nigerians on the danger of substandard products.
Enforcement activities in those days, before the early 1990s, were actually more with local companies, local manufacturing companies. The first thing was routine factory inspections that we used to do, right from inception. And then in the early 90s, that was when Sun now commenced the operations, that's the port operations on imported products. And it started with simply inspections. So Sun started with joining the customs to do what they call customs examination. And it was simply to sample the products during the customs examination, send them to the lab for testing, and immediately we have the lab report, then further action is taken. Either the consignment is released to the owner, or if there is a problem with the test report, then action will be taken.
However, the SON has made giant strides tackling the menace of substandard products over the years.
SON has been a major champion of ensuring standards in the manufacturing sector. And they have been doing that for so many years. And of course, their activities have been impactful. We have seen instances of seizures of substandard products. We have seen instances of sanctions. They have successfully prosecuted some of those who committed infractions on issues of standards and so on. And we have seen the fact that products that are produced domestically have a reputation of very good standards. So much so that even some unscrupulous elements will go and import some substandard products and label them as if they were produced in Nigeria. That speaks to the quality of standards, of the products that are produced locally. And no thanks to the enforcement activities and the setting of standards which SON has put in place.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria has provided local manufacturers with the technical support to be competitive. Such innovative ideas have helped producers of goods to be quality conscious, adopting best practices to reposition their businesses. Nigeria's cable industry has benefited immensely from the SON. Today, it's a fact that made in Nigeria electrical cables are the best in the market.
The biggest menace to the industry is fake cables, adulterated cables that are coming into the country, and even trying to regulate the industry in country. So SON has come in and has done a very good job over the years, because this is not something that started recently. It's something we've been battling with for decades. And to get us to this point, I can only say kudos and tell them as well that, as much as we've done this much, there's plenty more to be done. So I'm taking the issues at the ports, for example. Yes, there's still work to be done there, but you can see the tangible things that they've done. You can see how they have, in their own way, developed processes that can checkmate these things, right? Human beings would always be human beings. They would always be the ones that would circumvent and want to go behind the back, to try and circumvent the process. But there's a process. There are things that you have to achieve to make sure that you don't get on the wrong side of the law. And this is what SON has done. The destruction of cables and other materials that they do. I've witnessed one of these processes. It's amazing. It's actually very humbling. The depth of the seizures that they've done and the process of even destroying them. That in itself is an industry, if you say. And this is something they do regularly.
For the Director General of the SON, Malam Farouk Salim, the future is bright and all hands must be on deck to move the agency to greater heights.
Look, now look behind me. All this one now wire, where we seize from them. See as plenty there. Iron 9 they put inside. Maybe some people have seen their money for time and now they take build house. You can't use this kind of wire, I can't burn and down. What do you get again? So when we see people with this kind of email that they tell us to, we will go catch them.
Choose life and live. Buy original. Be original. SON.
The program you're still watching is Standard and You. Feedback is next. Alimoto Sifo is our guide.
This electronic equipment is regarded as one of the biggest inventions of the 20th century. It's a broadcast medium of education, entertainment, news, culture, sports, and even music, using an audio-visual channel. Yes, I'm talking about the television, the TV you are watching. Guess what? I'll be sharing 5 standard tips on television after responding to your feedback. My name is Alimot Osifo. Welcome. Olokun from Lagos says, please, we are having problem with China thermos flask sold in Lawansin markets. The hot water gets cold before 8 hours. Thanks so much for reaching out to us. Please send us detailed information of the products. We will investigate and take necessary actions. Ogashua from Nasarawa says, does your organization go to inspect iron rods? They are not up to standard. Including hollow pipe, it is not up to length. Please check to reduce building collapse. Thank you so much. The SON is already meeting with critical stakeholders in that sector and ensuring that they're sanitizing the iron rod markets to ensure that these products are of good quality. Audu Judith from Kaduna says, keep up the good work, SON, you're doing well. Thank you so much, Judith. We hope to serve you better. Anonymous message from Benue says, please put your searchlight on building cement. Thanks. Not just cement, we are focusing on all building materials to ensure conformity to standards. Now to 5 standard tips on television. Buy new television certified by SON from trusted brands and ensure you read the user manual to give instructions, explain features, and ways to tackle minor problems. Mount your flat screen television to the wall for stability and security. If you can't, use brackets and straps to keep it in place on a stand that's secured to the wall. Use a voltage regulator or surge protector to protect your television from thunderstorm or voltage spikes, which can damage the TV. Never use water to clean your television screen. Gently use a soft cloth to wipe off any accumulating dust. Do not try to open or service the television by yourself under any circumstances. Instead, consult an expert. There you have it, 5 standard tips on television. And that concludes this week's episode of your favorite public sensitization program, Standard and You. Thank you so much for watching. Keep your messages coming in with your full name and location to the number 0705-972-4455. YouTube.com/Standard and You is where to watch the program online. As always, buy original, sell authentic, and use only the best. Enjoy the rest of the week.
Why you dey buy fake product, Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.